Life is a balance, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So let's
Absolutely.
limbo together. How low can you go? Or wait, how high can you go? We don't want to go too low. Don't stay in the lows. Okay, I'm just getting off topic. Hi, welcome back to our channel.
I'm Susie.
And I'm Ness. And this is
Mom and Daughter Talk,
where we hope to inspire,
encourage,
and uplift your mother-daughter relationships. Thanks for joining. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe so you can be notified when we release new content on the YouTube channel. And if you are listening to the podcast, drive safely and follow. So today we want to talk about growth versus goals and how, you can focus on goals and that's great. But I think the process of getting there is also just as, and if not more important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So go ahead, Mom. Why do you always look at me?
Because that was exactly what I was going to say.
What were you going to say?
That what you said as far as, well, I'll just say this for myself personally. I can be very goal driven. And when I have a certain goal, I kind of target in and and I don't say that sometimes it's not the best because sometimes it's just with blinders on, I'm going for it. But really I've learned to, and still learning, that the growth process or during the process of getting to the goal, the question I need to ask myself is, am I growing in the process? And that's something that I sometimes would disregard, because I'm just driven to get to my goal. But really, as I'm going, if I'm growing, then I'm going beyond just reaching my goal. I'm growing as a person, which is something that you can take laterally, not just, like I said, just toward that one thing that you're going for, but really in every area of your life. Because I always say, if you position yourself as a forever student in life, then you'll glean a lot more, But yeah, I am learning that for sure.
Yeah. And I think that's most people, if not all people in the world. Like, we always have a goal or something that we are looking towards because honestly, as human beings, sometimes it's really hard to just stay in the moment, like in the present. Like, we're always either thinking about the past or we're looking forward to the future because I know sometimes for me, like where I'm at right now, like I'm not content. There's always more, kind of like you're saying. So I think that's a good key to look at. Am I growing in the process? And sometimes it is good too, because I know for me, recognition or mini even accomplishments kind of fills me up a little bit. I don't want to say pumps me up, but it does. It kind of like motivates me.
It encourages you. Yeah.
Yeah. It encourages me to like, oh, I did this. Yay. I can do another thing and I can do another thing. So I think that's why we're always like, go, go, go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything in your life recently or that you can think of that where growth has been more important than the goal?
Growth has been more important than the goal? I mean, my walk with the Lord. That's, I mean, that's the hugest thing for me. And like 2 months ago, we came back talking about promises, y'all. So I could say in a sense, that's a goal. And so I was looking towards like, these promises and everything. But I wasn't really growing as much as I feel like the Lord wanted me to because I was focused on the end goal, like where I'm going to be, what life is going to look like when that said thing comes. So I was like hyper focused on that. And I literally, it's funny we're talking about this because I literally just realized this on my trip a week ago. I was clutching something like way too close to my heart.
You mean a promise or something?
Yeah, a promise. A promise / goal. And so it's like I was clutching it and I couldn't really hear anything else. I couldn't see anything else. Like I was just only focused on that. So was I growing in the process? No, probably not maybe a little, but not as much as I would have been able to grow if my blinders, in a sense, weren't on to that goal or that promise specifically.
Yeah. And I think you hit the operative word is focus. So meaning that, there's a goal, but if the focus is growth, then that's where you'll flourish. But if the focus is goal,
that's good,
as far as the goal, then you'll kind of disregard the growth, Yeah. And I just want to really encourage anyone out there, because I know that's something that I'm going through too, that growth takes time. The word talks about line upon line, here a little, there a little.
Yeah.
And there's another scripture that talks about the blade first, and then the ear of the corn, and then the corn, as far as the production of it. You know what I mean? So, don't be discouraged on the days of the beginning part of it, and there's something to be learned in every level. Yeah, every level for sure.
Yeah. Hashtag growth, hashtag elevation. Like, yeah, you always want to elevate and you want to grow. And like I said, I mean, I have now just recently, y'all, reshifted my focus on the growth, the process of me, the becoming of me. Like, I have a mindset where I have never arrived. Like, I never have finished like learning from somebody or whatever situation I go through. So yeah, that's a great thing.
Yeah. And really talking about growth, let me ask you, do you think growth just happens through time, or is it something that's intentional, or what are your thoughts as far as growth? What is that?
Yeah, that's such a great question. No, I personally don't feel like, okay, so over time, yes, you can grow in certain areas, but I feel like you would have to put in the work and you have to be intentional about growth. Absolutely. Kind of like maturity. You mature over time, yes, just because you're experiencing life more, but it's also like you have to focus and hone in on it and be intentional with your time or what you want to grow in. I mean, it's just like any sport. Yeah, you can get better over time, but if you got a coach or something and you're practicing it, and they say practice makes perfect, but that's cool. But I think that practice also builds your confidence.
Right.
Like, yeah. So if you're intentional about growing, like, you're going to get more confident in you. Yeah. And you'll see the growth and you'll like appreciate it,
And I think one of the first steps of self-growth is to really know yourself or to recognize yourself, right? So if you don't know yourself very well, then it's hard to know where, in what areas of your life you need to grow, you know? I mean, I was just telling you before we started recording that there's something that just recently that you have brought to my attention, and I just did it out of habit, and then I had to kind of stop and think like, why do I do that? And then I came to some conclusions. Like I was telling you this, sometimes I'm a very kind of like easygoing, kind of like peaceful person, and I like peace and I don't like drama. So when I feel a conflict or like maybe even a courageous conversation coming up and I'm not in the mood to delve deep, like I don't want to deal with it. So I just start kind of walking away, like just
literally.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with
walking out the room as I talk.
And but I just kind of did that out of habit, or like maybe like, I just feel like I'm thirsty, and maybe I wasn't even thirsty, but I just wanted to get out of the situation. But that's an example of self-realization. So now I know I need to grow in that area, and so I thank you for bringing that up to my attention. And I think that's another thing too. We always talk about who's around you, people that'll point out because it's hard to be self-aware sometimes. It's hard to be objective about ourselves because we are so subjective because we live in our own skin, so a lot of times other people around us can see us better than we can see ourselves. It's that up close view versus that what I call that aerial view.
And I will say, like, I'm very proud of you for noticing that because it's also one of those things, like, people can tell you something about yourself all day, but some people don't want to hear it. And I get that. But it's like, there's nothing, I couldn't have jumped in your body and like made you not leave the room while I'm talking to you. But you came to that realization, and this is going to make life a little bit easier when I talk to you.
Oh gosh.
Because now I will feel like you're listening all the time. In Jesus' name. But yeah, so growth is better than the goal. We will always have another goal to achieve, and sometimes take a beat and try to sit in, like, where have I grown and how can I grow? Who can tell me about myself, and am I willing to hear it? Because some people just aren't willing to hear it, and that's fine, but know yourself.
Yeah. One thing my therapist said to me, which I thought was really great, she put it in a biblical context, but she said when they were believing to enter into the promised land, they entered in. But once they got into the promised land, it doesn't mean that challenges and conflicts and things stopped. You're in the promised land, but you're going to have other things and challenges that you have to deal with, you know?
Yep.
So I thought that was really good.
That is good because you might as well, that tells me you might as well start growing now.
Absolutely.
Because life ain't going to get easier.
Yeah.
You know, and you want to level up while you're on this earth.
Yeah. And really, life is full of ups and downs, and that's okay. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, you know, you don't want to think about challenges that are in life, but that's part of life. But then there's also joys, and overall, I feel like life is beautiful, you know. But it's both. It's and learning how to balance the both, and that it's okay. It's okay when difficult times come, knowing that it's not forever, you know. So.
Life is a balance, y'all. So let's limbo together. How low can you go? Or wait, how high can you go? We don't want to go too low. Don't stay in the lows. Okay, I'm just getting off topic. But yeah, anything else?
No, I just want to encourage you that whatever you're going through, focus on the growth.
Yes.
Try focusing on the growth more than even the goal. Absolutely. Let growth be the goal. How about that?
Ooh. Let growth be your goal.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. See y'all later.
Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye. I have no idea what we're going to talk about, but it's always exciting when you step out beyond your comfort zone, because I do believe nothing great happens within that comfort zone.
What do we? Oh, I'm done making thumbnails, just FYI.
Oh, okay.
So we're done.
Okay.